What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. Khamzat has officially accepted Henry Cejudo's apology, bringing an end to a feud that has lingered for years. After recently announcing his retirement from MMA, Cejudo traveled to Dubai, where he spoke with Red Corner MMA and publicly addressed the situation. During the interview, he admitted regret over how things unfolded in the past and offered a direct and sincere apology to Khamzat. Cejudo explained that he never truly wanted conflict with Khamzat and acknowledged that much of what happened stemmed from poor judgment and bad timing. He admitted that he is involved in the content and media side of the sport and is often looking for reactions, but said that in this case, it crossed a line. He referenced the incident involving the hat, stating that while he understood how things escalated, he now sees that it was wrong and disrespectful. In his message, Cejudo praised Khamzat, calling him a legend and expressing admiration for the fighters Khamzat represents and looks up to. He made it clear that he has no desire to fight or feud with him, and said the apology came from a genuine place. Cejudo added that as he steps away from competition, he wants to make peace with people he may have wronged and hopes they can eventually shake hands and move forward, emphasizing mutual respect across different backgrounds and beliefs. The tension between the two dates back to 2022, when Khamzat appeared on Cejudo's podcast and reportedly left his hat behind in the studio. In a later episode featuring Paulo Costa, the hat was handed over and turned into a joke when Costa stuffed it into his underwear and rubbed it on his crotch. That moment quickly became a recurring source of trash talk on social media and in interviews, often aimed directly at Khamzat. The situation escalated further in 2024 when Khamzat and Cejudo crossed paths outside a wrestling venue during the Paris Olympic Games. Cejudo later described the encounter on his podcast, claiming Khamzat confronted him aggressively and hurled insults, including calling him a rat and other harsh names. Those comments reignited the feud and kept the bad blood alive. However, during Saturday's IBO World Boxing Championship, Khamzat publicly responded to Cejudo's apology. He stated that he forgives him and is ready to move on from the situation. With that response, Khamzat made it clear that the past is behind them, closing the chapter on one of the more unusual and long-running rivalries outside the Octagon. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to help support the channel. Moving on to another news, Jamahal Hill has officially accepted a fight with Blachowicz, and it looks like this light heavyweight showdown could be next. Hill has remained in the headlines following his viral run-in at UFC 323, where a heated confrontation sparked plenty of controversy and attention across the MMA world. The situation began when a video surfaced showing Hill threatening Yana during an on-site exchange. In the clip, Hill could be heard saying he would knock her out if she went after his girlfriend. Since then, Hill has explained that the incident did not come out of nowhere. According to him, it was instigated by Yana and ties back to personal drama that started years ago, after he allegedly hit on Polish star Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Hill claims tensions had been building long before the encounter went public. More recently, Hill revealed that he had heard Blachowicz was unhappy with what unfolded at UFC 323 and was considering getting involved. Hill addressed the rumors directly, stating that he had not personally seen a tweet or video from Blachowicz, and that most of what he heard was speculation. Even so, Hill made it clear that he would welcome the fight without hesitation. He said that a matchup with Blachowicz would be something he absolutely loves. Former champion versus former champion, two veterans of the division, and a chance to shut down what he called Polish power. Hill added that he would gladly take that fight once he is back at full health and ready to compete. Hill also addressed the idea of handling issues outside the cage. He emphasized that he does not play those games and that fighting is his profession. According to Hill, any talk of settling things outside the sport is not something he is interested in. He stressed the importance of keeping everything professional inside the Octagon, where there are rules and a referee present. Not long after those comments, Blachowicz made things official by calling out Hill on social media. He wrote that as soon as Hill is healthy, he is ready to fight and wants to get it done. Hill responded quickly with a confident acceptance, saying, "Say no more. See you in the Octagon." With that exchange, the tension shifted from talk to a potential booking. Now, it remains up to the UFC to decide whether to make the fight official. On paper, it makes a lot of sense. Both men are former light heavyweight champions, and both remain in the top 10 of the division. Blachowicz is currently ranked number 5, while Hill sits at number 7. The stakes are especially high for Hill, who is coming off 3 straight losses, most recently a decision defeat to Khalil Rountree Jr. in June. Blachowicz, meanwhile, snapped a rough stretch earlier this month by fighting Bogdan Guskov to a majority draw. If booked, this fight could play a major role in shaping the next phase of the light heavyweight title picture. Moving on to another news. Manel Kape sent a clear warning to Joshua Van after delivering exactly what he promised inside the Octagon. Kape said before the fight that he would make it look easy against Brandon Royval, and he backed those words up in brutal fashion. In the final fight of the year, Kape stepped into a high-stakes main event against the former title challenger at UFC Vegas 112, knowing that a statement win could push him directly into the title conversation. While the matchup was not officially announced as a #1 contender fight, everyone understood what was on the line. A dominant performance would be impossible to ignore, and Kape delivered just that. He needed less than one round to shut the show down, scoring a devastating first-round knockout that left Royval unconscious on the canvas. It was a violent and decisive finish that instantly turned heads across the flyweight division. Speaking at the post-fight press conference, Kape wasted no time shifting his focus to Joshua Van. With full confidence, he declared that he would be the toughest opponent Van has ever faced. Kape suggested that the silence from the champion spoke volumes, claiming that Van already knows what is coming next. According to Kape, the lack of response is a sign of fear, not confidence. He went on to say that he is coming into the next year hotter than ever. Kape explained that he plans to be sharper, more focused, and completely locked in, cutting out distractions and dedicating himself fully to the goal of winning gold. He described a mindset built around discipline, saying he will eat, sleep, and think about his target every single day until he takes the belt. In his words, he intends to become Van's worst nightmare, someone who will live in his head long before they ever share the cage. Kape also took a moment to speak about his identity and star power. He proudly described himself as the second biggest star in Portugal, sitting only behind Cristiano Ronaldo. He talked about his roots, explaining that although he was born in Africa and grew up in Portugal, he has never forgotten where he came from. His celebrations, his confidence, and his personality are all tied to that journey. According to Kape, in Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo is the biggest name, but right behind him stands Manel Kape. He added that in Angola, he is now one of the biggest figures in sport, and he plans to keep proving that his rise is only just beginning. Moving on to another news, Francis Ngannou may have just hinted at his next fight, and it could be inside the PFL cage. For months, there has been heavy speculation surrounding when and who Ngannou would face next, especially after his high-profile move away from the UFC. Now, following the PFL's most recent event, the picture is starting to become clearer. After Vadim Nemkov secured a championship victory at the latest PFL event on Saturday, attention immediately shifted to what could be next for the heavyweight division. Ngannou has not competed since October 2024, when he stopped Renan Ferreira in dominant fashion during his PFL debut. That fight marked his return to MMA and ended with Ngannou making a powerful statement. On Saturday night, Nemkov submitted Ferreira in the opening round to claim the PFL's inaugural heavyweight belt. After the win, Nemkov was asked who he wanted to face next. Staying true to his calm personality, he said he would fight anyone the organization wanted, but made it clear that his preferred opponent was Francis Ngannou. It did not take long for that clip to reach Ngannou. Shortly after, he responded with a brief but telling message, saying he has been ready for a long time and that he would see him soon. That response immediately fueled talk that the matchup could be next, especially with PFL officials already expressing interest in getting Ngannou back in action. PFL CEO John Martin recently stated that the organization hopes to have Ngannou fight again soon, which naturally puts Nemkov at the center of the conversation. Nemkov is one of the most accomplished heavyweights on the roster, and now holds the official heavyweight title, making him a logical opponent on paper. However, Martin also revealed an important detail. He explained that Ngannou has one fight left on his contract, and that the PFL wants to make it a truly special matchup. According to Martin, fans should expect to see Ngannou compete in 2026, after which discussions about his future will take place. He noted Ngannou's age, and questioned whether his long-term ambitions remain in MMA, or if he may return to boxing again. That raises the question of whether a fight with Nemkov fits the idea of a special final bout. Some may argue it does, while others believe the PFL could be aiming for something even bigger. It is also worth noting that while Ngannou previously won a symbolic superfight heavyweight championship, Nemkov is now recognized as the official PFL heavyweight champion, which explains the current title structure. For now, all signs point to Ngannou being open and ready, and the possibility of this heavyweight clash continues to gain momentum. Moving on to another news, an unexpected UFC crossover just took place as welterweight contender Carlos Prates linked up with former light heavyweight champion Jiri Prochazka. Prates recently traveled to Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic, where he took the opportunity to train with one of the country's most respected MMA figures. The session brought together two very different styles, blending Prates' sharp striking with Prochazka's unorthodox movement and intense approach to combat. The training footage showed both fighters in good spirits, exchanging techniques, sharing laughs, and clearly enjoying the experience. It was a brief but memorable session, giving fans a rare look at two elite fighters from different divisions working together. Prochazka appeared relaxed yet focused, while Prates looked energized by the atmosphere and the chance to learn from a former champion. After wrapping up training, Prates quickly shifted gears and embraced what he enjoys most after fighting. He made the most of his time in Prague by diving into the city's nightlife, celebrating the trip and soaking in the culture. The visit blended hard training with well-earned fun, making it a trip to remember. Moving on to another news. Paddy Pimblett went off on Colby Covington, unloading a brutal rant about what he sees as a fake persona and a reputation built more on noise than substance. Speaking openly, Pimblett said that many fighters act louder in front of cameras than they are in real life, and he pointed to Covington as the biggest example of that behavior. According to Pimblett, no one genuinely likes Covington, claiming that his entire image is an act designed to grab attention. He said Covington talks constantly, stirs controversy, and plays a character, but the reality behind the scenes is very different. Pimblett explained that almost everyone he has spoken to tells the same story, saying Covington is actually polite and normal when the cameras are off, which only raises the question of why he chooses to behave the way he does in public. Pimblett mocked that contradiction, saying if someone is supposedly nice in private, then the loud, abrasive persona must be forced. He described Covington as someone who thrives on playing the villain, even if it earns him negative attention rather than real respect from fans or fellow fighters. In Pimblett's view, it is all an act and people are tired of it. He also took aim at Covington's political associations. Pimblett laughed off the idea that Covington is close with the former president, while suggesting that the connection is exaggerated. He joked that Trump probably likes him more than Covington, pointing out that he has won more fights in front of him. Pimblett framed that comment as another example of how Covington's image does not match reality. Throughout the rant, Pimblett made it clear that authenticity matters to him. He criticized fighters who build careers around controversy instead of performances, saying fans can see through it eventually. In his eyes, respect is earned by what happens inside the octagon, not by shouting the loudest at press conferences or pretending to be something you are not. Pimblett finished by reinforcing that Covington's reputation speaks for itself. He believes that when almost everyone shares the same opinion, there is usually truth behind it. For Pimblett, the message was simple: be real, back it up with wins, and stop hiding behind a manufactured character. Moving on to another news. A UFC fight was canceled at the very last minute, leaving many fans confused when the card finally went live. Anyone watching the event may have noticed that Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson never took place. As the broadcast went on, it became clear that the bout had been quietly pulled just hours before the fights began. Leading into the event, reports surfaced that the matchup was called off due to medical issues involving Lemos. At first, very little detail was given, which led to speculation about injuries or weight-cutting problems. Later on, Amanda Lemos addressed the situation herself in an Instagram video, explaining exactly what happened behind the scenes. According to Lemos, the Nevada State Athletic Commission did not clear her to compete because of a pimple on her upper lip. She explained that the commission followed safety protocol, stating that because they could not immediately identify what it was, they chose to be cautious and removed her from the fight. Lemos made it clear that she felt healthy and ready to compete, but the final decision was out of her hands. She emphasized that the issue was not related to conditioning, injury, or weight, but strictly a precautionary medical ruling. From her perspective, the commission was simply doing its job by prioritizing fighter safety, even if the situation seemed minor. The last-minute nature of the decision ultimately meant that Jillian Robertson was also left without a fight on the night. During the UFC broadcast, commentators announced that the fight had been rescheduled and moved to the March 14th card. That announcement suggested the matchup would be rebooked quickly, allowing both fighters to stay active and avoid a long delay. However, Lemos added another layer of confusion in her video. She claimed that According to what she had been told, the fight is actually set to take place on February 7th instead. As of now, that has created uncertainty around the official date, with two different timelines being mentioned publicly. Regardless of the exact date, the intention appears to be to rebook the fight as soon as possible, giving fans the matchup they missed and allowing both fighters to move forward without further setbacks. Moving on to another news. Paddy Pimblett has sent his best wishes to Ilya as the champion deals with personal issues away from the Octagon, while also acknowledging that the situation could have major implications for the lightweight title picture. Speaking in a recent interview, Pimblett made it clear that although his focus is always on fighting, he respects that fighters are human beings first, with families and real lives outside the sport. Pimblett explained that he does not know exactly when Ilya is expected to return, mentioning that it could be sometime around May or possibly later in the summer. He stressed that whatever Ilya is going through has nothing to do with competition or rivalries, and he genuinely hopes everything works out for him on a personal level. According to Pimblett, family matters always come first, and he wished Ilya nothing but the best as he works through that period. At the same time, Pimblett acknowledged the reality of the business side of the sport. He pointed out that if Ilya is unable to return by June or July, there is a real chance the UFC could be forced to move on. In that scenario, Pimblett believes the champion may have no choice but to vacate the belt, which could result in Pimblett becoming the undisputed champion without ever sharing the cage with Ilya. While he said his main goal is still to fight him properly, he admitted that the timing could change everything. Pimblett then shifted his attention to Arman, delivering some harsh criticism. He claimed that Arman dug his own grave by pulling out of a title fight at the last possible moment. In Pimblett's view, those decisions have consequences, and Arman now has to live with them. He accused him of talking big without backing it up and suggested that his actions outside the cage have hurt his own credibility. He went on to list several incidents that he believes damaged Arman's standing, including pulling out of a title opportunity, causing trouble during fight week, and benefiting from matchups that did not prove enough at the elite level. Pimblett also questioned some of Arman's wins, saying that not everyone agreed with those results, and that the overall resume does not justify the level of entitlement. Pimblett finished by saying that the UFC does not work on favoritism or money, and no one can buy their way into title shots. In his eyes, fighters need to sit down, stay focused, do what they are told, and earn their place the hard way inside the Octagon.